Good evening. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Jesse Thomas. It's 11:30, and this is CTV News. Tonight, millions in illegal cigarettes seized in New Brunswick. Why the province says the black market is costing the government millions. Then, water woes. After years of water issues, residents at a Nova Scotia seniors home have their water back. And another whale of a tale on Cape Breton. This time, a beluga whale draws big crowds to the shoreline.
Live from our Maritimes News Center, this is CTV News. Here is Jesse Thomas.
Good evening. We've entered another stretch of hot, humid weather for much of the Maritimes. Many parts saw temperatures reach into the 30s today, and we'll see similar temperatures tomorrow for what's likely to be the hottest week of the summer so far. And while some can escape the heat, many are doing their best just to keep comfortable.
I always make sure my flaggers or my crew gets their proper breaks. When it's hot like this, I try to do 15 minutes on and then half hour on, 15 minutes off, and make sure they stay well hydrated, try to get them in the truck with the AC as much as we can.
The weather is expected to improve for some areas over the weekend, but in the meantime, the weather certainly has everyone talking today, and as temperatures soar, CTV's Derek Haggett was outside to show us how some Maritimers spent the day either basking in the sun or trying to escape it.
There may not be a better way to beat the heat than jumping off the Pointe-du-Chien wharf.
And once you jump, there's no turning back, so you cool off right away.
But for those working on the wharf or on the water, it's not so easy.
We have sunscreen on board for them, and also definitely, stay hydrated, lots of water, and we keep some Gatorade on board.
At the sailing school, it's all about keeping the young sailors protected.
We make sure we ask them to take a lot of water breaks, make sure they finish their water bottles throughout the day. Whenever they feel too hot, we let them jump into the water.
CTV meteorologist Kayla Mitchell says temperatures in the Maritimes will soar into the high 20s and low 30s this week, and a few communities in New Brunswick may approach 35. Humidex values will reach the high 30s or even near 40. This restaurant in Fredericton closed for the day due to the extreme heat in the kitchen.
1, 2, 3, go!
Swimmers in Riverview waited in line for the community pool to open early this afternoon.
It's pretty hot. Yeah, it's pretty hot. You get really warm when you're gardening up there in the sun. We have our umbrellas, but it gets pretty hot, yeah.
We only go for 30 minutes on, and then we have some time to rest in the shade, though, so it's not too bad.
Standing high temperature records in the region could be matched or broken.
We go to the pool, we go to the beach, we have a pool in our backyard that sometimes we stay at as well. Or if it's really hot, we will sort of plan our day around the hottest part of the day being inside.
It's nice, because some days we have cold days in the winter, so it's nice to have a hot summer that you can actually enjoy the sun.
Derek Haggett, CTV News, Pointe-du-Chien, New Brunswick.
And residents at a seniors home in Nova Scotia are letting out a sigh of relief now that they have running water again. Problems with the water supply have been recurring issues for years. Those living there tell us CTV's Vanessa Wright has more.
It's what people living at this seniors home are calling a classic case of neglect. No running water in the kitchen, bathroom, or any units since yesterday.
It was going on for 5 years, but the last 3 years, it has declined so quickly to last night, we were without water for over 15 hours.
About 25 residents live at Spruce Grove Apartments. Those we spoke to say they were already unable to use the water after it was tested for lead. The building now runs on well water, but that stopped working. Residents have been using bottled water.
We have seniors who go get a shower. They put shampoo in their hair. When they're lathered up and everything, all of a sudden the water stops. They have to go get the bottles of drinking water. They have to make a couple of trips because they need about 6 to 8 bottles to drain their hair. I don't understand how come we don't have more broken bones in here.
Don Watts lives with cancer and was in the middle of a shower when the water stopped.
I was thinking, oh yeah, here we go. and I stood there for 10 minutes hanging onto the rails.
Some of my kids live handy, and I took my laundry and done my showers there to help the residents in here that don't have that opportunity.
And water isn't the only problem here. Residents say they've expressed concerns about leaking windows, a bad generator, and a lack of yard maintenance, just to name a few. A spokesperson for the Nova Scotia Provincial Housing Agency says the problem is now fixed, telling CTV News in a statement there is no issue with the water quality at the building. While Spruce Grove has experienced some challenges with water supply, these are not unusual for an area that is largely served by wells. The issue reported at Spruce Grove last evening is related to a mechanical failure with the well system. Repairs were completed this afternoon.
They had years to fix this. And now they're trying to fix it 24 hours? Like, seriously?
I hope it stays fixed so no one is without this basic need. Vanessa Wright, CTV News, Porters Lake, Nova Scotia.
Meanwhile, there's a boil water advisory for residents of Louisbourg after officials say a major water main break disrupted the supply. CBRM says those in the area should bring water to a rolling boil for at least 1 minute before drinking, preparing baby formula, washing produce, or even brushing your teeth. They say some residents may see low or no water pressure while repairs are being made. The Fortress of Louisbourg, the National Historic Site, announced it will be closed today for the waterline break repair. The advisory is in effect until further notice, but does not apply to residents on private wells. And New Brunswick says it's making progress in the crackdown on illegal tobacco after seizing millions of contraband cigarettes over the past 2 months. Officials say the black market is costing the government millions in lost tax revenue and is contributing to organized crime. Between May and June, investigators seized 4.3 million in illegal cigarettes. The province says that represents more than 1.1 million in lost tax revenue. So far this year, they estimate that 8.2 million in contraband cigarettes have been seized.
There's a lot of money in this, and usually a lot of money attracts crime.
New Brunswick boosted its funding to fight illegal tobacco in this year's budget by adding an additional 1.2 million to help that. Nova Scotia said they believe they've lost $20 million in tax revenue from illegal tobacco sales last year. And proposals to build a dozen apartment buildings in Halifax went before the public today in a series of public engagement sessions. Up to 4,600 units could be built over the next 25 years in one of the biggest land development projects ever to hit the capital city. CTV's Jonathan McGuinness has more.
It's a big property, nearly 12 hectares, and there are big plans for it.
Come here and you see some of the plans, and it's just amazing what is in store for Halifax over the course of the next 30 years.
Two developers have submitted proposals for up to 4,615 new residential units, as well as commercial and office spaces on an area between Windsor, Yonge, Roby, and Almond Streets.
This area has a lot of, existing services that are really close by, and it has a lot of potential for new services as well.
The block, which for decades was the site of the old Piercy's property, is now known as the Yonge Street lands. It was designated as a future growth node back in 2021. Proposal 1 has one building, up to 33 stories high, going up on the old Mayflower Curling Club site. The second includes 11 towers ranging from 12 to 52 stories tall. All of it was discussed today at public engagement sessions where residents could offer feedback.
I think it's a great way to increase density without kind of taking away any historic value in Halifax.
Aesthetically, look at what you're doing, that it always looks attractive as opposed to just a cement city of tower apartments.
Bill Hughes was particularly interested in the proposals. He and his wife moved into a building adjacent to the curling club 7 years ago. They're now hoping to move into a newer model when it's ready.
That's the plan, because a new building will now have the view that we presently have. The new building will take it away.
Feedback from the public sessions will help form final proposals, which will be presented at City Council for approval. Jonathan McGuinness, CTV News, Halifax.
It's unusual. Beluga whales are not often seen in waters around here, but when they are, like the ones in Cape Breton, they certainly draw a crowd, and their presence comes barely a week after an orca or a killer whale caused quite a sensation when it was spotted near the Canso Causeway. CTV's Ryan McDonald has more.
For the second time in as many weeks, a species of whale not often seen in the Maritimes has made its way to Cape Breton waters.
It's fantastic, actually. My little girl and I are here from Ontario, and we've seen this online and decided to come and see the whale.
People gathered today at the marina in St. Peter's, where the Department of Fisheries and Oceans says 2 belugas have been spotted in the Bredor Lake.
This is amazing. This is out in the free.
Capturing video of this beluga from shore proved to be a bit difficult, but 11-year-old Liam Groom got lucky.
I started a video a couple minutes ago. I think I just got him.
Now, of course, it was only a week and a half or so ago that a rare killer whale, an orca, made an appearance near the Canso Causeway. Some people I spoke with here today at the marina in St. Peter's said they missed the orca that time, regretted it a bit, and came here to see the beluga today to try for some redemption of sorts.
Oh my God!
The orca at the causeway drew crowds of people too. As for belugas, DFO says those that end up here every so often are likely from the endangered St. Lawrence estuary population.
There was one in Ingonish quite a few years back.
In fact, there were at least 2 back in July 2018. Shortly before that, a pod of 7 orcas was captured on video by fisheries officers. The belugas near Ingonish 8 years ago seemed interested in people, but some folks got a bit too close.
And people used to swim out, they could hold on to him. Well, I think they got after them like for that, because he's a wild animal.
DFO says it's important for the beluga's safety not to interact with them and to follow the marine mammal regulations by staying at least 100 meters away. Ryan McDonald, CTV News, St. Peter's, Nova Scotia.
Get the Maritimes' top stories, breaking news alerts, and watch live. Download the CTV News app.
All right, still to come tonight, Kaylin's full forecast for what's shaping up to be a real hot week. But up next, area code questions.
Technology is accelerating the rate at which existing exchanges fill up.
Nova Scotia and PEI are set to get a new area code, why some say the old numbers are like part of their identity. That story's coming up.
Mornings with Aaron and Peter.
10 questions, 60 seconds. If you know all the answers, you're winning $1,000.
We play $1,000 Minute every weekday at 7 a.m.
Well, if you feel attached to your 902 area code, hang on to it, because there's a new area code on the horizon for Nova Scotia and Prince Edward Island. CTV's Paul Hollingsworth dials us in with the details.
91-year-old Fran Bright says the old days before area codes existed were so long ago she can't recall how phone calls were placed.
Afraid I don't remember.
Now, with news of a new area code, Bright is taking the easygoing approach.
Probably wouldn't make any difference.
Nova Scotia and Prince Edward Island have had the same 902 area code since 1947. 782 was added in 2014. Now, people living in both provinces are getting another 3-digit code, 851.
Technology is accelerating the rate at which existing exchanges fill up.
Technology analyst Carmi Levy says phone companies are running out of numbers and launching new area codes to solve the problem.
It used to be one phone number per household, one phone number per business, whereas now everybody has a smartphone.
People who live here have sentimental attachment to the original area code. More than just a number, some people connect it to their identity.
I understand, it's the heritage and stuff like that.
Levy says area codes signal to the world where we come from.
We put a lot of our personal identity into the phone numbers that we have.
Digital anthropologist Giles Croach says, like 416 in Toronto or 604 in Vancouver, 902 is woven into the regional fabric of Nova Scotia and PEI.
And so 902 becomes part of our lifestyle.
It's a cultural identity.
If anyone misses the old area code, there is a way to buy it back.
Just go online and look up numbers in the exchange that you want, and you can pay hundreds, even thousands of dollars for the privilege of having a phone number in that original exchange.
Whether people like it or not, they will have time to get used to the idea. The new 851 area code will go into effect for Nova Scotia and PEI in May of 2028. Paul Hollingsworth, CTV News, Halifax.
All right, time for a quick break, but when we return, your complete maritime weather forecast. Kaylin's back with all the details on what's been a hot week. Stay with us. And welcome back. Meteorologist Kaylin Mitchell joins us now with your maritime weather forecast. Kaylin, it certainly feels like summer out there. Temperatures soaring today.
It's one of those nights, Jesse, where maybe we're throwing open the windows to try and cool off things in the houses a little bit, though not as easy as usual, because even tonight, temperatures are quite warm in the region. A lot of lows not expected to be much cooler than around 15 to 20 degrees, and still some mugginess in the air. We are underneath this area of high pressure, this ridge in the jet stream. Hot conditions continuing on for the maritime region, directly underneath it all the way through until Friday, and then maybe some changes for the weekend ahead. As we take a look at the warnings still in effect, they're out for all three maritime provinces. The only areas not underneath warnings, parts of the northwest New Brunswick and around the Bay of Fundy coastline, because for those two spots in the region, temperatures may cool off just a little bit more tonight, maybe just a little bit more nighttime relief compared to other areas. As we take a look at our timeline for cloud cover and precipitation for tonight, it is a mostly clear night with the exception of some possible fog patches around parts of the Bay of Fundy coastline in New Brunswick and the southwest of Nova Scotia. They won't be around for very long because it's moved through Thursday morning into Thursday afternoon. That fog will be dissipating or retreating to just off the coast. The rest of the day, very sunny, hot, and humid for the region. Winds for tomorrow will be mostly out of the west, but they'll be on the lighter side, between about 10 and 20 kilometers per hour. As we take a look at the temperatures for tonight, there we go. Many parts of the region not much cooler than the mid to high teens, and with the humidex feeling still into the 20s. If you're in the northwest of New Brunswick and around the Bay of Fundy coastline in that province, could see some lows between about 12 and 15 degrees. And then here's the highs for tomorrow. Low 30s for communities in the north of New Brunswick, feeling up into the high 30s and some maybe close to 40 with the humidex. And down through central and southern areas of New Brunswick, it's the same story. Most of the high temperatures will be in the low 30s for tomorrow. Parts of the Bay of Fundy coastline and coastal areas in the southwest with some high temperatures, mid to high 20s, but still feeling into the 30s with the humidity. Prince Edward Island for tomorrow, high temperatures, high 20s, low 30s, including 30 at Summerside, Charlottetown, hot at Cavendish, high temperature near 32, 30 at Montague. In Cape Breton tomorrow, most of the highs, high 20s, low 30s, hottest conditions into the interior of Cape Breton. On the north shore of mainland Nova Scotia, high temperatures into the low 30s. And for communities on the eastern shore, most of the high temperatures, high 20s and low 30s, 27 to 31 degrees. 30 for Amherst for tomorrow, 32 for Truro, and for the city centers, Halifax and Dartmouth, near 30 for Chester and Lunenburg. Bridgewater, though, Shelburne, closer to 32. Coastal areas in the southwest of Nova Scotia between 24 and 27. And then Indianapolis Valley, hot and humid. Middleton, Kentville, Wolfville, temperatures around 32, but humidex values making it feel between 38 and 40. Taking a look at the extended forecast for New Brunswick. Hot and humid weather all the way through until Friday. And then on the weekend, we start to see some changes. That ridge of the jet stream flattens out a little bit. Weather front begins to arrive from the west, brings a chance of showers and thunderstorms on Saturday, and then some further showers in the forecast for Sunday. Very warm start to next week. Showers expected on Tuesday, and then Wednesday, a mix of sun and cloud. For Nova Scotia, the forecast, hot and humid straight through until Friday. Humidity remains through the weekend, but the temperatures come down by a few degrees each day, especially if we get some showers and a few thunderstorms that move through. Monday, a mix of sun and cloud, showers in the forecast for Tuesday, and Wednesday, a mix of sun and cloud. And for Prince Edward Island, high temperatures, pretty close to 30 for both Thursday and Friday. Cools a couple degrees on Saturday, chance of a shower, risk of a thunderstorm, and then a few more degrees on Sunday with a higher chance of showers, and again, a risk of a thunderstorm. Monday, a mix of sun and cloud, showers for Tuesday, and Wednesday, a mix of sun and cloud. Jesse.
All right, thanks for that, Kalen. We'll take a short TV timeout, but stay with us. Plenty of news just on the other side.
The #1 morning show in Halifax. Turk, Megan, and Amateur Alex. And home to the biggest artists. Halifax's #1 hit music station. 101.3 Virgin Radio.
Welcome back. With the oftentimes rocky trade relationships between Canada and the U.S., given that there were plenty of handshakes and hugs to go around tonight at the U.S.-Canada border between New Brunswick and Maine.
There you go.
This is the Hands Across the Border, and it's an annual ceremony. It kicked off the 53rd International Homecoming Festival tonight between St. Stephen, New Brunswick, and Calais, Maine. Members of both communities met in the middle of the Ferry Point International Bridge to exchange flags and greetings and to carry on this border tradition amid the ongoing trade war.
It's not two communities, it's really one community, and it's been this way for a very long time.
It really shows how friendship can overpower politics. We're two separate communities in two separate countries, yet we function as one.
There are several events scheduled on both sides of the border between now and Sunday. And of course, on Saturday is always the much anticipated parade that will follow a route through both communities with fireworks later on in the evening. All right, time now for one last break, but coming up, we've got your wake-up weather with Kalen Mitchell. Let's go outside right now, though, with a look at the Halifax Harbor. Things looking relatively calm this evening. Still 26 degrees, it says there, 25 maybe. Kalen's back with what you need to know in the morning.
Thursday on Your Morning Atlantic, the power of art.
We'll chat with a Nova Scotia artist who creates textured floral artwork while inspiring others to embrace their own creativity.
Start your morning with us Thursday on Your Morning Atlantic on CTV2 and Crave.
All right, let's see how your Thursday morning is shaping up. Kalen's back now with everything you need to know, and it doesn't seem like the heat's going anywhere.
No, it's not. It's kind of rinse and repeat for the Maritimes over the next couple of days. Just very hot and humid conditions. This may end up being the hottest week of the month, just with the outlook so far. So taking a look at our day planner for tomorrow, very warm start to the day. There might be a little bit of patchy fog around the Bay of Fundy coastline in New Brunswick and the southwest of Nova Scotia. In the afternoon, mostly sunny, a lot of high temperatures, high 20s and low 30s, and humidity will even be a little bit higher than it was today. So Humidex values in a lot of cases making it feel into the high 30s and some maybe close to 40. Jesse.
All right, thanks for that, Kalen. Now, beer and book lovers continue their first Wednesday of the month pilgrimage of sorts to Good Robot Brewing in Halifax's North End for silent reading at the pub.
But for the most part, it's kind of like being in a library.
It's free to drop in, but there are some ground rules. Silent reading at Good Robot means no phones, no talking. It's just you, your book, and a beer of your taste. The brewery has been hosting the event for years, and organizers say it's perfect for those who like the pub atmosphere, but without having to take part in any of those awkward conversations like, so what do you do for a living?
Yeah, it started off back in 2016. We started it off as sort of a social experiment because, you know, like, how long does it take for a bunch of people to sit quietly in a room with beer before they start to go insane? So that was the original thought, and it actually ended up becoming quite a popular event, and so we just kept on doing it.
The event goes the first Wednesday of each month, as we said, with doors opening at the Speakeasy area around 6 p.m. Just books and beers, no book reports or pop quizzes either. All right, that's your late news tonight. Just a reminder, if you've tuned in late or if you'd like a second look at any of our stories, you can find them on our website, ctvnewsatlantic.ca. I'm Jesse Thomas. Thanks for staying up with us. Hope to see you again tomorrow night, everyone. Good night.